Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about Mondo potentially taking over the toy collector market with 6.5-inch figures of real Ghostbusters, adding the Thundercats license. Oh my God, Mondo's crushing it. We're going to talk about all of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me tonight, we've got Adam from Highly Articulated. Welcome, Adam. Good to see you again, my friend. And man of the hour, Mr. Ghostbuster Toys himself, Craig Goldberg. How are you doing tonight?
Wait, why am I man of the hour?
I don't know. I just feel like
this is your time.
This is your
time to shine.
This is Craig's moment right now.
I feel like Ryan Dole for the first time. This is for me. We did this for me. You can't be man of the hour. No, I will say this.
Okay.
This was fun. Yesterday was fun.
Oh,
That's what I'll say.
What a day for Ghostbusters fans, Ghostbusters Toys fans, real Ghostbusters fans. It's the thing that we have been waiting for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And I'm over the moon on it. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming and hang out tonight. I believe maybe Mad Hatter will jump in as well. He's driving back from Temecula, I believe. And maybe we'll have a guest jump in from Peter from Mondo. Had a great performance on Toy Anxiety yesterday. So I don't know
that was an all-time like for a last-minute stream, and him like it was just I never ever go back and watch my stuff. Mm-hmm. I've probably listened to 3 episodes of Yes Have Some podcast.
But yesterday
I was like, I got to go back and watch this interview with Peter. That was so much fun.
But it was just awesome. So funny. It was so funny.
Can I just say that I feel like a bit of an outsider here. I like Ghostbusters, but I'm not nearly as big a fan as I know both of you guys are. I was transfixed to my screen watching that yesterday because it was such a good video.
I mean, it was. Thank you. I mean, and then Jay, I watched your video, which was amazing. Like, it was just, listen, we've been doing YHS for 8 years. We've been doing Toy Anxiety for like, I guess 3 years now, which is insane. Or maybe, is it 4? It started during the pandemic. So crazy. I think every stream we've ever done, somebody at some point has said, I wish Super 7 would do real Ghostbusters. I wish NECA would do real Ghostbusters. I wish, so it's also just like finally, what does that say? Craig's low-key the funniest toy tuber. Listen, thank you. I'm glad that none of my co-hosts are here to argue with you.
Again, it's Craig. It's your night. It's your time to shine.
Speaking of
say whatever I want about
happy birthday to Jacob.
Happy birthday,
yes, happy
Jacob
birthday.
Yeah, somebody had a comment yesterday. It was like Jacob was in the middle of blowing out his candles when all this news broke. No, I'll try to be not as long-winded. I'll just say that it's really cool when the thing that everybody has been like, wanting forever, like gets announced. But then it's like when you get the further details from Peter, it's like, oh, this is best case scenario across
best case scenario.
Like there's no, I just wish it would have been a different scale or yes. Whatever. So yeah. Hi. Hello. Anyways, this is not my show, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, this is the Toy Geek's just about hanging out and talking toys. And so if it needs to be your show tonight, Craig, it's your show tonight.
It's not, but I am very excited, and I'm this is kind of like reinvigorating me because I've been in a little bit of a toy lull. There hasn't been anything really in modern toys that is just getting me like super, super like over the top excited. And now knowing this is happening, listen, also full of fear. What if they do it and
it sucks?
Nobody buys it? No, it won't suck. But what if they're like,
we're not worried it's going to suck?
Not worried it's going. I think Mondo, everything they do is amazing right now.
Absolutely.
So
I know. But okay, I'm getting way too in the weeds, but let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. It's been going for a minute. I may go backwards. So we got Blind Robot, Christopher Negri, Gades Toys, Brian Carr, Allison Troy, Jace, who in yesterday's stream you mentioned, hey, whoever did that in Moogly, we should make one for the next Toy Tubers Unite. Well, Jace made it. and has offered.
That's why I'm getting those compliments. Okay, I see it. That is a great Moogly. In fact, I wonder if I should reveal something tonight, because I have a thumbnail made for an upcoming YHS video that nobody knows about, and that Moogly, I kind of ganked it. I don't know.
Should
if
we set
I
a like goal? Maybe if we hit a certain amount of likes, you share it or something.
Yeah, if you guys hit a certain amount of likes, I'll share the mystery thumbnail for an upcoming video.
So, you said it, Craig. What should the like goal be?
I really want to show it. So like 50.
Okay, come on.
Whatever
I think we already have 50. That's not.
What do you guys normally do?
At least we're already at 88 likes, so we got to at least be 150 or something.
Okay. Let's do 150.
150 likes.
All will be revealed,
and Craig will reveal this secret thumbnail.
It's real. It's not a joke. It's a real upcoming.
It's a real thumbnail.
Yeah.
Easy E. Colleen is here. It's our wedding anniversary tomorrow, by the way. So happy anniversary, Colleen. 13 years tomorrow.
Beautiful.
And we met on the same, not the same day we got married, but that date. So 17 years since the day we met tomorrow. I think 17 years, something like that. Colleen can correct me.
Did you guys meet on a YouTube stream?
No, but we were both podcasters. So that's how we kind of knew each other.
Cool.
Was we both had our own podcasts. Anyways, Colleen, thank you for putting up with me for 17 years. Way too long. Way too long. But so many people in the chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. We also have a super chat already from Matt Bush, $10 super chat. Jay didn't need help with a topic tonight. 100%. I mean, Craig, you know this, and Adam as well. You do live streams as well. Is there anything worse than like a really boring toy news week and you don't have anything to talk about?
You're describing the last 4 months. Hey, what do you think that new Star Wars HasLab's gonna be? Still a cantina? Okay.
It can be a week that has lots of toy news, but it's still, if it's not relevant to like you, or like you're kind of just like, hey, let's talk about this thing that I'm not gonna buy, but somebody might.
Yeah, that's why we kind of gotta wait. Like, I got sick of doing these streams where it's like, none of us are gonna buy these G.I. Joe classified figures, so why are we even talking about it? There's 12 other channels that are gonna do a really good job breaking it all down. So, it's more of a social hour.
Exactly. It's come hang out, some social sparklers maybe. Angry Elf, 18 months GDL fan member, and Charlie Weaver, long time viewer, chatter, producer, and one of our moderators. 20-month GDL family anniversary. Congrats, Charlie Weaver. Thank you so much. Attack Peter. Oh shit, Craig's on. Well, speaking of Attack Peter, Peter, do you want me to, if you want, can I give you a call now? Is it time? I use my phone for my camera, so I'm gonna try using my iPad to call you. I hope that's okay, Peter. Hopefully that works. I don't know, but hopefully Peter's ready for whenever I call. This is
gonna be like yesterday. He won't hear us, but
yeah, exactly. But now it'll be my voice talking to him.
Won't have the control. I hope he does the shtick where he asks us.
I was gonna say, but really, he had the control.
He had the control.
Hey, why don't you ask me this?
All right, hold on. Oh wait, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you all hear him?
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you, Jay.
Perfect. All right, Peter, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Nothing. How do you feel being the belle of the ball? Everyone's excited about what y'all are putting down.
Listen, this is all I've ever wanted. Who's there with you, by the way?
I got Craig from Yes Have Some Toy Anxiety.
Sick.
And then I got Adam from Highly Articulated. Also works with the AWOT crew.
What's going on?
He says what's going on. My friend, how sober are you at this point? Because it's the end of your.
100% sober. We're here at I'm not 100%, but I'm sober enough to not get fined.
My hope is maybe it's like end of the thing, a little looser. Maybe you'll have more reveals for us.
We're at the Italian restaurant from Lady and the Tramp. You remember that?
Oh, of course, yes.
Literally
that was a cartoon.
In an alley, making out with a Cocker Spaniel.
It's based on a true story.
Wait, is the audio coming out of the bottom of the iPad?
I don't know. Maybe I have no idea where it's coming from.
Where does Geek Dad Live stand on bestiality?
No, let's not go there, Peter.
I didn't have trouble hearing them.
But okay, so Peter, you know, the fact that you're doing 6.5-inch scale is a really big deal. Something we didn't get answered yesterday is, could 6.5-inch be in play for stuff beyond real Ghostbusters?
Oh my God, you guys greedy, dude.
I'm just curious.
What do you want in 6.5-inch?
Ev-
Just let's go over it, and I'll take it to the factory. Go ahead. What do you want?
Everything.
All right. Well, I'm gonna write down. Craig? What do you want in 6.5-inch?
I'm happy with Ghostbusters, so I don't care about.
Remember,
I could already buy
say
6.
it.
He's saying he's happy with Ghostbusters being boring. Okay, Adam, what would you want?
I mean, I know that they just announced those Thundercats, but
Thundercats.
and I know that
No,
someone
come
else
on.
is
We're
doing them.
We're doing
but
6 scale, Adam. Chill out.
yeah, I know.
Relax. This guy's out of control.
Okay, X-Men. People in the chat are saying X-Men. What about X-Men?
As soon as you said that, I saw 3 red dots on my chest from this Hasbro cyber.
Ryan Ting.
Let's
Good
try
to take 'em out.
Ghostbusters and see how it goes, and then we'll go from there. How about that?
All right. That's fair.
There
That's
you go.
fair.
I like that.
Come on,
I like
everybody
that.
relax.
Tree Shaker says 6 or 6.5. Like what is 6.5 is kind of, it's a tweener. Most people have done 7 or 6. Why the 6.5?
I don't know exactly why we landed. To be honest with you, I don't remember why we landed on that. I think that there was a discussion in play where literally we were having, it was, you know, the whole toy team at Mondo talk about what feels good, right, for the size. And ultimately, Alex, if I remember correctly, Alex held up a figure that he had. He goes, this feels like the right size. It's about 6.5-inch scale. It doesn't mean that every figure will be 6.5 inch.
Yeah.
Right.
It means that, like, that's usually what, like, someone who clocks in around 6 feet in real life would be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then if you have larger monsters, etc., they would be bigger, etc., etc. I don't know that it's going to be like a major difference if you think about what a 1/2 inch breaks down to,
Mm-hmm.
as it scales to 6 feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's the short answer. There's a reason Alex had a good gut feeling about it. We trust Alex on it, and there was something to it. So you'll have to ask Alex. I don't remember. I'm being honest.
That's fine. That's fine. And I think it brings me another good point. We know the scale of the ghosts and monsters from real Ghostbusters. Like, are we going to stay true to scale when we're talking about, you know, executing on some of these ghosts that we've never gotten before?
That's the whole point.
Dope.
That's the whole point of doing well, let's put it this way. That's the benefit of doing a smaller scale, is that larger figures are a lot more feasible, right? And you mentioned it on YHS, I think, Jay, that, like, there's room for stuff. You feel more comfortable going all in, et cetera, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more affordable.
Look, personally, I love larger figures as a collector, but when we were talking about this internally, it was just like, we could possibly do 6 scale Ghostbusters at one point, and I think it's hilarious that finally we do exactly what people were asking for, and there's like 3 people out there going, how come it's not 6 scale? Anyway, but there's always like 3 people, dude. But anyway, but yeah, it's like one of those lines. Look, let's say it for what it is. The NECA TMNT line is one of the greatest figure lines of all time. Either one, but specifically when you talk about the animated series line and how many figures they've been able, or how many characters they've been able to put together.
Mhm.
And, like, I feel like that's the gold standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you guys like us love, I mean, for me, Ghostbusters is all about the ghost, dude. I want everybody from that intro credit scene.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I don't know if it'll happen. We're going to shoot for it. If people support it, there's no reason why not. But my goal is to have that entire intro credit scene as toys. My goal, personally.
Yeah. No, 100%.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
I don't know what the question was, but that's the answer.
No, great answers. Other questions, a lot of questions around Janine. Hashtag not my Janine. Can
we address this?
Sure.
So,
yes.
the image that was some of you people, bro. Wait till I meet you. By the way, every time I meet somebody from the cast, they're the nicest people.
Of course.
Three
They're
or
so
four
nice.
people at C2E2 who were Geek Dad and YHS listeners, and they were just like outstandingly awesome people. So, but again, like I said yesterday, believe that whatever we're going to do on this line, we're going to do with the hardcore people in mind. You know what I mean? Like, like we're not going to do something boneheaded. But yes, Craig called me. He goes, Peter, why are you putting the wrong? I go, Craig, dude. That image has to be approved by the licensor, and that's the image they wanted us to use. There's nowhere that it says that it has to be this, Janine. But mark my words, Jay. Write it down right now.
Okay, we're writing it down.
The second we put out the correct Janine, there's going to be 14 people in your chat that goes, I want the new Janine. So get ready. Dude.
Jay, ask him.
But yes, we get it. I get it. I get it. Stop the hashtag. I get it.
Here's my question.
No.
Craig has a question. All right.
Beyond
Craig,
accessories, are alternate.
I can't hear it. Remember.
I'll recite it to you. So I got to hear from Craig first. So go ahead.
Are alternate heads and hands going to be included with these sets?
Okay, he asked, are
Like
alternate
ultimate.
heads and hands going to be included in these 2-packs?
You mean like expressions and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I think that's definitely in play. Hands, you have to have different hands for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, like, think of what we've done with Motu in terms of like fun, alternate expressions and stuff like that. It has to make sense. I'm definitely think that we're prioritizing like making sure we have as much character representation in these sets. But yeah, the whole goal is to get fun expressions and all that kind of stuff and extra little details. I'm gonna get in so much trouble with Hector. I don't want you to know that, but go ahead.
And then there's nobody actually truly critiques Alex's fan sculpts that he did in October. But I talked to Alex yesterday and he said, just wait. He's just like, just wait. Like the stuff I'm working on for the actual figures are even better, than those renders. I'm even more excited about them than these renders. But people have commented that, are you going to be able to get the articulation right so they can accurately hold their Neutrona wands? Like, is that being accounted for in the sculpting?
I would defer to Alex on that, but I would assume, I mean, you guys know Alex. Yep. Nobody would say that Alex is not like a true collector and a true fan, right?
Yep.
So I would say that it's, the idea is that obviously we got to have them be able to hold the wand. So I'm going to defer to Alex on that one. And I can't imagine we would make a dumb bonehead mistake like that, but I will confirm before I say it. I mean,
I've got two real quick.
Yeah, of course, I would imagine.
All right.
I'll confirm it.
Craig has 2 quick questions.
All right. First one.
Ooh.
Are you excited to put out 6-inch figures with the best ankles in the business?
First question. Are you excited to put out 6-inch figures with the best ankles in the business?
I don't even know what he's talking about. What about Adam? He has said nothing the whole time. He's just sitting there quiet.
I'm asking if the figures are going to stand.
Are they going to stand up is what he's asking. Are they going to be able to stand?
What is this misery with James Caan, dude? Relax. What figure did we put out that doesn't stand up?
I'm taking
Settle
shots
down,
at other
Craig. Of
people.
course they're going to stand up.
He's taking shots at other people. This isn't directed at you, Peter, okay?
Okay. Well, I couldn't hear his tone because of the black picture. Thank you, Craig. I'm not trying to create enemies, Craig, with this line.
Craig, your second question.
So we'll get to it. It's fine.
Okay,
it's fine.
Adam, do you have any other questions?
All in due time.
Adam, any questions from you?
Yeah, can you ask him? Are they going to do the gorilla?
What? Oh.
I'm just kidding. Don't ask him.
Are you going to be able to do the gorilla from Filmation's Ghostbusters? Is what I assume you're asking. Any Filmation's Ghostbusters? Probably not.
No, dude, we're doing the real Ghostbusters. Never mind. No more questions from that.
I think we kind of cover this in the Toy Anxiety stream, but Is Kenner stuff staying Kenner? Like, I assume you all
Yeah,
can't play in the Kenner pool.
We don't have, like, the Kenner is a different thing.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So I think that's going to have to stay in its own lane from what I understand.
Okay. Understood. Zach can, so I'm just going to call this one. Damn, that's a real attack, Peter.
Hey.
But anywho, Craig, what was your second question? As we'll let Peter get back to his.
He's not gonna be able to answer it, so it's all good.
Italian
it's
dinner.
My gnocchi is frozen at this point.
Oh my god!
Let him eat.
All right, Peter. We're gonna let you eat. Thank you so much again.
Hey, in all seriousness, can I say something?
Please.
Okay, can I have the floor?
You have the floor.
All right, thank you. Tell Craig to hold on 1 second before he's making a joke. He's thinking of a joke right now.
He is probably.
I just want to say thank you so much to all you guys for the reaction for this has been insane. People have been blowing up our DMs like crazy. It's like one of those awesome moments where it's like positivity, like on all aspects, and you have to love that. You know, we're all toy fans. I love watching your guys' show because I'm a big toy fan. I love YHS because I'm a big toy fan. And it's just exciting to be able to bring what people want to them. So give us a chance. We're going to do everything we can to make this exactly what everyone wants. It's been really hard to get a license like this. Let me tell you that. There's a reason why people haven't done it before. And we're lucky that Funko, really helped out getting us that license, that people trust Alex Brewer, that people trust Hector Arce. It's amazing, dude. So thank you guys. Give us a chance. And in San Diego, we'll have a lot more to say about it. How about that? Does that sound good?
That sounds great to me, my friend.
I'm super stoked. Super excited.
Peter, congratulations on a great weekend. Can't wait to see what's coming up next.
The funny thing is I don't do anything. I just talk about it. Like, I don't sculpt anything. I didn't draw any. It's the greatest job. I just go in there. Isn't that cool what Alex did, guys? Everyone's like, yeah. and they paid me for it, so whatever.
Don't undersell yourself, my friend. You're an important piece. An important piece.
Well,
all right, my friend. Have a great night.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye, Adam.
See ya.
He's one of
how
the
I feel about AWOC. I don't do anything. I just answer emails. I don't know what.
Hey, but you know what? Again, don't sell yourself short, Adam. Okay.
I know exactly how he feels.
Hey,
though.
I would like the opportunity to sell myself short, real quick. I don't, guys. Peter and we talk. He's the kindest person.
He is. He's good people, like really good people.
We do our shtick. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. I'm nothing but excited. Like, part of me wants to let's slow roll this. Like, I don't want I want time to speculate. I want time to. I think it was a really good idea for him to do that just now and to do what they did yesterday, because you got to get ahead of the misinformation. Right?
Yes,
you got to. Part of this, my number one criticism always of Hasbro is the lack of transparency. When you're not transparent, when you're not upfront with people make up their own story.
You fill in the gaps. Yeah.
So Mondo all day yesterday could have been like, we're not going to say anything. It's just and then it's 3 months of creating headcanon of what it's going to be. And then when they announce what it's going to be, I thought it was going to be 12, whatever. So it's like, get ahead of it.
And I understand why companies don't, like a Hasbro or whatever, because they're so big. There's so much bureaucracy. There's so many, checks and sign-offs you have to do. Mondo, while it is a well-known, fan-focused company, it's much smaller than like the toy division of Mondo's, like, I don't know, 7 people or something. It's not a big, huge operation.
Right.
And so they're allowed to play in that space. But you're 100% right. Like, I fully expected, Craig, that we wouldn't know scale. We wouldn't know any of these details until Comic-Con.
My favorite, listen, I'm not going to be super snarky, but I will say this. Yesterday was a good day. We created that graphic. We put up this information. The information got out there. 99% of people shared it, credited it, whatever. I honestly don't. If people share it, don't credit it, whatever. Yeah. But I did laugh I did see a couple posts out in the world that were like, we're hearing that it's 6.5 inch scales. Oh, you're hearing it, huh? You heard? Where'd you hear it? Where'd you hear it?
There's only one place you heard it.
Light the candle.
One person reached out to Peter and asked
Yes.
him, "What will the scale be?" And then,
Yeah,
and then put that information out there.
but it was cool.
Where did
And
you hear it from, though?
Thank you. Here.
But
that was cool. It was great. And like I don't know, man. First of all, just to see positive Ghostbusters stuff is awesome. It's just like when the movies come out and everyone's excited about. Can I make a little speech? And I swear to God, I'll shut up for the rest of the time. This is my impassioned speech. Jay, you've got a great audience, so I hope they listen.
Yeah.
First
They're
of all,
listening right now.
Love Ghostbusters. Love the real Ghostbusters. 1986 is when it happened, right? Came out in 86.
Yep.
We're hitting in a year and a half. It'll be the 40th anniversary of the real Ghostbusters. So think about that. 40 years.
Yeah.
So here's my speech. Here's my thing.
Okay.
These are the toys. I don't care what they cost. I don't care what scale you collect. I don't care if I see somebody go, I'll wait till Super 7 makes them. They're not going to. NECA is not going to make these figures. Super 7's not going to make these figures. Hasbro is not going to make these figures. These are the figures. Luckily, Mondo's amazing, and the people that are, Alex and Hector and Peter, these are great. This is the best, like we said earlier, these are the best case scenario. But if these are something that you want and you love real Ghostbusters and you've wanted these forever, instead of being negative, and there's not that many people that are, but like, consider, hey, they're going to announce these at Comic-Con. That means probably in the fall at some point they'll release the first set or the first two sets. Prepare for that. If these are something you really want, because because they're not going to be made by anybody else. And truthfully, love Super 7. We have friends that work there, but I wouldn't be super confident in a Super 7 Ultimates Real Ghostbusters line.
I'd be wary.
They'd cancel it after the middle of the second wave. Like that's just what's been happening. So I think this is just like a best case scenario for Ghostbusters collectors, and they're probably going to be pricey. I think the 2-packs are probably going to be $100 or $150 or whatever. But these are the toys, so don't sleep on them, right?
Yeah,
when they happen, but mostly just be excited because I am.
Absolutely. I think what's kind of cool to see is so much of the conversation being around like, I'm not even like, Adam, what you're saying, like I'm not even a huge Ghostbusters person, but I'm kind of excited about this, right? And
I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
And it kind of gets into this zone of like, I'm sure there's people that collect Masters of the Universe classics or NECA Toon TMNT or whatever that maybe weren't diehard Motu fans or TMNT fans, were like fans but weren't like, this is my thing, I'm collecting. But then you fall in love with whatever those toys are, and then you kind of go all in on it. And I feel like this has the potential to be that, and there is this will be as big as and incredible as the people that buy into it. Which Adam, you're working on AWOC, which it's the same rule. I mean, it's the same for any toy line. It's only going to be as successful as the response to people buying it, and the more we go into it, the more successful it could be. And not only toy collector Blake, these need to sell so Mondo will continue the line beyond the first offering. So like Craig is saying, if you want to buy them exactly. But even beyond that, if you maybe want to read between the lines what Peter is saying, if the 6.5-inch scale crushes for Ghostbusters, maybe that gives them the impetus to say, hey, let's fight for 6.5-inch in other properties that we work in.
Do you think Hasbro is like, how do I say this? I wonder if they're surprised or were aware that this was happening, because like Peter was just saying, to make this license work was really tough. Like, I think it's an underrated thing, and we don't talk about it enough, what licensing is and how it works, right? And the truth is, none of us, every every deal is completely different. So all we knew is that Hasbro is the master toy license holder for Ghostbusters, which means that they are making the mass produced toys and action figures. So my guess is that there's some sort of workaround, loophole, something where I won't be surprised if these come out and they're not called action figures. I won't be surprised if these are called no pun intended, highly articulated collectibles, right?
Well, just adult collectibles.
Adult collectibles.
Going the NECA route and saying
and I
these
think,
are not toys; they're not to be played with.
Right,
14 plus, right? You know, like you kind of change it so that it's
sure. Well, that was the thing, right? That's why NECA couldn't do 6-inch Ninja Turtles figures for so long, is because Playmates. That's one of the main reasons why NECA Ninja Turtles figures are not in the toy aisle. They're in their own special designated collector's aisle. There's weird legal ways to get around things, but I do wonder what that looks like. So
I think I don't think this is Hasbro is giving permission to Mondo.
No,
I think Mondo's doing this on their own. But I do think they will have to play at a price point or something that doesn't muddy the waters with Hasbro.
Well, it's going to be really easy to not compete with Ghostbusters offerings right now.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that, like, they're going 6.5-inch scale for a reason. And I mean, that market, there's a lot of stuff, in the NECA sort of world, in the Super 7 world, like there's enough of those sort of adult collectible 6 to 7-inch scaled figures that are, $40 to $60. They're doing 2-packs. I'm kind of, what if, I mean, you guys know more than I would, but like, what if these are $100 for 2 figures, or 110?
Yeah, exactly. I think that
it's more likely that it's going to be in that realm, because then it puts it into the market. Like it becomes in play for collectors of those lines, whereas Mondo traditionally has done, the 6 scale, which is a different market. People are buying less of them. They're bigger, they're more expensive, so on and so on. I wonder if this is a play to sort of get into the market of sort of 6-inch action figures.
Yep. That's the biggest deal out of all of this is the 6-inch scale.
I think this is honestly, like, just beyond it being Ghostbusters, I think this is Mondo. Like we talked to
it's huge.
Jesus Christ, my cat just scared the shit out of me. Sorry. Didn't mean to say swears. Hector and Peter, they've been on our shows. They said a year ago, Mondo they're mainly gonna be a toy company. The focus right now is on toys and collectibles. Funko sees that. And this is them basically saying to NECA and to Super 7 and to Mezco and to anybody who are these, what do you call them, Jay? The mid-majors?
Mid-majors, yep.
Saying like, hey, we're about to enter the marketplace with a premium action figure line.
Yep.
And I honestly think starting with Real Ghostbusters is it's just a huge upside, because it just hasn't been done this way.
Exactly.
There's a built-in demand. There's a built-in market. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like, we're doing a 6-inch scale turtle line that's been done by every mid-major.
Although I did see a couple people yesterday like, well, I'm perfectly happy with my Diamond Select figures. I want to be like, no, you're not.
You're not.
You need therapy.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm actually going to grab I have them outside. You keep talking. I'm going to bring them. You can see.
You
Hold
are
on.
in an abusive relationship with your Diamond Select Ghostbusters figures. They give you nothing. They put you down. But Adam, I'm kind of curious to get your kind of perspective. So just as a general toy and action figure enthusiast who's not a huge Ghostbusters fan, like, is this a line where you might go in and get the first couple, put the team together, see, or is it just kind of like cheering on from the sidelines, just happy that it's happening? Do you think you'll get into it?
This is it really all hinges on the price point, because the Mondo stuff is phenomenal, but like all of my shelves are sort of designed for 6-inch scaled figures. Like
Exactly.
the 1/6 stuff, I just don't have room for. I appreciate those and I absolutely love them, but at the end of the day, it's sort of like, 1/6 is kind of what I love because it's all the IPs that I loved as a kid are all scaling together now, and as much as I'm not a huge Ghostbusters fan, but I did have like the real Ghostbusters action figures. I don't even remember the cartoon, to be honest, because I'm in
Right.
Canada and I don't know that it had the same sort of airtime. But I do remember the toys vividly, and
Sure.
and I know we're not getting the ghosts, but I mean, if I'm being totally honest, I don't care if they're the Kenner ghosts. I like that sort of cartoon ghost.
Yeah.
And if the 2-packs are sort of like a human figure plus a ghost, and four 2-packs gets you the main team and 4 ghosts, and then we can get I feel like Slimer would be like a 2-pack with another ghost or something
Sure.
like that, or Slimer would be with Janine or something like that.
Right.
If the price point is right, I can absolutely see myself getting into this, because if it hits that price point like a NECA or a Super 7, then it's totally manageable, and you got 4 main players that you need. It's like Turtles, right? So you're going to get those 4.
Right.
That you're going to sort of go from there, but I genuinely believe that the vitality of this line is dependent on that price point. And I think that this is a push from sort of Funko to get into that space, that market, that like I said, that sort of $40 to $60 space. They could be onto something with this. They could really be onto something, because again, in that market, there's not a lot of people doing ghosts, and sort of
Exactly.
these will photograph well too. So
Yeah.
for toy photographers and just sort of collectors, in terms of just growing out cool figures in their collection, I think there's a lot of potential here.
All the colors. Yeah.
I have a feeling, and Peter kind of referred to it, I think Mondo's looking at this as possibly a companion line to NECA's animated Ninja Turtles line.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
How could it not?
Right? That's now, I'll be honest, I don't think there's any possibility that this goes as deep as NECA Ninja Turtles.
Probably not.
They've gone well past the point of anything that anybody could.
You never know.
You just never know. There is a lot of like weirdo episodes of Real Ghostbusters.
There is
with weirdo characters, and also like I have a feeling Mondo's run, like NECA is the model's different, right? NECA is producing these things and putting them into stores, and they have a ton of data that probably tells them they probably reasonably know what they're going to sell.
Funko is in a lot of stores, though.
Funko's in a lot of stores.
So the channels, the distribution channels are there.
It's funny, Jay, that's probably the best one of the 4.
It's not great.
The head's okay, but like the bodies are.
But the glasses, his glasses are terrible.
They're just not good. Like, but this is a Diamond Select thing. Like, these are just don't stand there. The Ray is awful. They
look like that. Are all 4 bodies the same?
Yes, they use
the Mondo won't do that.
But
no.
Can I just tell you how many comments I saw that were like, "We already got real goat. Like, you can't say it hasn't been done yet. Diamond Select did it." Like, did they really? Did they?
Trust me, they didn't.
Did they?
Look at that.
You can't even put the proton
weird
pack on. There's
figure.
nowhere to attach the Neutrano one on.
Look at the beautiful. You know how human beings have that giant crevice through their chest cavity. You know how humans have
looks
that.
So natural.
That's what drives me crazy about WWE figures. Is like this weird, like nobody bends right here.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Nobody I know. But yeah, I think this is a statement. I think that teasing it the way they did was so cool. Got everybody talking.
Yeah.
And then at Comic-Con, they'll probably we'll see some stuff. We'll know more. We'll know price point. We'll know.
And maybe I don't know. Did Did Peter say more surprises to come? Like, I don't know. We'll see how it all
he's
plays
kind of
out.
alluded that like this. They're basically saying, "Hey, get ready. This is going to blow your minds."
Yeah.
I mean, we've been freaking out for 6 months over like digital renders, so it's like that weren't real.
That everybody was like, "Don't worry, these aren't gonna be made." Surprise!
I
Like,
had a
if
feeling. I had a feeling once the response was so positive that
You
Yeah.
have right.
it would be stupid
irresponsible.
not to explore it.
The
It
shareholders
definitely-
would have thrown a fit at fucking.
It definitely felt like a let's test the waters. Let's see what the reaction is. You know what I mean? Like it's. I find it hard to believe that these would just get sort of thrown out there with no real intention behind them. Like the sculptors that I know don't have a ton of time to be sculpting a whole line behind the scenes.
That's interesting.
Just to sort of like
At a
throw out on
minimum-
Instagram.
At a minimum, I bet Alex was like, "Hey, I'm doing this. Is there going to be any problem?" And they maybe were like, "Hey, maybe this will be,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
test the waters. But I will say, I think it was kind of a surprise. Like it wasn't a. I don't know. We'll see. But Alex and I chatted yesterday. He's like, the ghost is out of the trap. Saw your video about the news. It's funny. I can't even look at those old concept images compared to how they look now, and that has me pretty damn excited because these I think look fantastic. So
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to sort of speak ill of Super 7. I do like Super 7 figures, but this looks like it's articulated like a Super 7 figure, and I think that Mondo will do a better job than
sure,
as far as articulation goes. So.
I think so too. And again, it would need the butterfly joints in the shoulders and stuff to be able to hold the Neutrano
Right.
on. Like it has to be better.
Listen,
if
I was
you
the-
want to do that.
I was a huge fan of what Super 7 was doing a couple years ago. Like I really thought that they were getting into a space of like, and listen, they are still doing cool, like the Thundercats stuff Super 7 is doing is like really cool. And like I'm but that's why I think when I cannot see Mondo, if this is successful, I would not see Mondo. They're not going to do Masters or Thundercats or X-Men in this scale. I think they're
No,
going to
I
want to
don't
do new stuff. Like somebody said Captain Planet earlier. Yeah, bring it
that'd be
on.
great.
Planet. It's like basically if they can run the table on the stuff that hasn't been tapped into yet,
Mhm.
Which is not a lot, really.
it's not, but it's out. Captain Planet's one of them.
Yeah.
Mainly Captain Planet.
Beetlejuice, animated Beetlejuice. That I mean,
Yeah.
Best Action did a couple figures, but didn't really tap into it, and they weren't great.
What
To
about
me,
something
what's-
like Dick Tracy?
Dick Tracy would be dope.
You know what I mean? Like I think there's still a ton of stuff out there that could be done.
I think there's two things that really excite me about this. One,
McDonald's characters would be dope.
oh, that would be cool.
Jim and the Holograms, Black Star,
Mm.
Thundar, Herculoids, like for the whole Hanna-Barbera stable.
I think what excites me the
DuckTales.
most is that it's the potential for this. I don't love buying one-off action figures.
Agreed.
No. me
I
neither.
like investing in a line of action
Mhm.
figures. I want to know what
And then
three I'm
selling
getting and then getting rid of them. That's mainly what I like to do. Is sell them.
And then buying them again.
And then buying them again. I think that the potential here and I like Mondo's model more than Super 7. You don't need to do a wave of 4 and have everybody dropping $250, $300. It's going to probably, I would imagine they're going to do 2 sets next year, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Or at the most 1 per quarter.
Mhm.
But if we can end out, the end of next year where maybe the first 2 have shipped and like now we've got 8 figures in the line and then they plot out the next 8. You could be
Mhm.
looking at a multi-year investment in building this out. The
Yeah.
thing that stresses me out right now about what NECA's doing is like, it's too hard and too expensive to collect
Yeah.
NECA Ninja Turtles right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't have Haulathon money.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I don't
Absolutely.
have $700 to go to
Yeah.
Target and buy.
Absolutely.
But I could, but I'm excited.
Out of all these suggestions, Pirates of Dark Water would be my
Yeah.
number one. I love Pirates of Dark Water.
You know what I want to see, and this has just sort of come around recently. Mummies Alive. I would
Yeah.
love to see a Mummies Alive line.
I just recently picked up all the figures from John's shop a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah.
Mummies Alive is a great one. Also, Hemlock. I have a Hemlock tree in front of my house. It's kind of center in front of my house. It's cool looking tree. If you don't know, Hemlocks, check them out. Anyway, this isn't the only news from Mondo because we've been very Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, right.
But let's not forget they also tease Thundercats and taking on the Thundercats line. And damn, that's now again. I think Peter mentioned like we're not getting 6.5-inch scale here yet. Maybe I don't know, but these will be 6 scale. But how about them tapping into Thundercats to go alongside your Motu, your X-Men? I mean, this feels more. This will fit in with your Motu figures for sure. Adam, what's your thoughts on these Thundercats, or at least them taking on Thundercats?
This looks fantastic, and I mean, as I've said, Mondo 6 scale, like 6 scale in general, is just not really something that I'm buying. But if I were, I would be buying all of the Mondo ones because they're beautifully sculpted. They like the attention to detail is really, really good, and especially with like the timed exclusives and things where they add, the deep cut Easter egg stuff, I think is really, really cool. I like that Snarf's in there so that you get it. I feel like that's a little bit of a jab at another toy company to include Snarf with Lino. But
wait, you want a separate $55 Snarf? Is that
was Snarf a single figure at Super 7?
Yes,
to be fair, I actually, when you look at that wave, I kind of understand why, because you get Rotaro in that line or in that wave as well. So there's I think Super 7 is basically going, okay, if you get Rotaro and Snarf in the same wave at the same price point, you're kind of getting a great deal on one and not a great deal on the other. But anyway.
Anyway,
Snarf's
an accessory. He's not a standalone thing.
How dare you? Snarf is an integral member of the Thundercats. To everybody that's saying the same thing about Janine, Snarf is the Janine of the Thundercats.
No, let's not lower Janine here. Snarf is Slimer at best.
Was Snarf the Thundercats secretary?
I will concede that one. Yeah, okay. He's the
like
real
Snarf,
Ghostbusters equivalent
Orko,
of
Slimer.
Yes,
like it's the annoying.
This makes me think Slimer's not gonna like. Slimer needs to be.
He
like,
could be a pack-in. No, I want to.
pack-in.
But that's the thing. I want Slimer as like a articulated figure that comes with accessories and.
Give me like a Slimer expression pack, like 20 Slimer faces.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like that.
I
mean, I think like I'm not a big Thundercats guy. When we're at Comic-Con last year, like the Masters of the Universe stuff is so impressive. It looks so good. So
Hector shared this high res version of the
this looks phenomenal.
render.
Like the fur texturing and like all the they've added details, which is what they've done with a lot of the Motu figures, right? Like they went above and beyond what currently exists as far as design goes, and it looks amazing.
That looks good.
Yeah.
How's the Thundercats community reacting to this?
Positive, I think.
Good?
Yeah, I think
that's not gonna fit in my cat's lair.
I think that's the line you want to draw, right? But I think 1/12 collectors are different than 1/6 collectors. 1/12 collectors are generally rich. No, I'm kidding. But at least they have more space to.
It's a different mindset.
It is.
People who are like Hot Toys collectors, they don't even consider what we collect. They're like,
it's not a thing to them. It's like a pedestrian throwaway item. Yeah.
Here's another thing I've noticed. I love vintage toys. I love vintage toys more than anything. Modern like action figure collectors who are all about articulation, they're like, why would you want this stupid old toy that doesn't do anything? It looks like shit. And I'm like, because it's my childhood. That's No, but this looks really awesome.
Yeah, to me, again, I won't be collecting this, just to be completely upfront, because I don't have space. I don't. But if they jumped into the 6.5, it's where I'm just so thankful these Ghostbuster figures are 6.5 inches, because you have space. And Adam, you hit the nail on the head that so many people generally their shelves accommodate or have been optimized for 6 to 7 inch scale figures. So you're ready to go for the most part. Or even if you're space confined, you can maybe boot one out and start putting in real Ghostbusters if you want.
But I think Motu and Thundercats fans probably too. They're just like a different breed of collect. Like I think if you did the 12-inch Ghostbusters figures, I don't think you get much further past the Ghostbusters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
How many people are out there going to spend $300 on like a 16-inch tall Boogeyman figure? Like they're out there. I'd buy it,
but not as many. Yeah.
But Motu fans, like if Mondo put out a 1/6 scale Castle Grayskull that was like $5,000, they'd probably sell a ton of them.
Probably.
Like it's just like
Enough
a different. It's a different mindset of collecting. So I think this is good.
Yeah, for sure. Brian Carr, $5 super chat. Thank you, Brian. I've never bought a 1/6 figure before Mondo Motu. And now between 1/6 Motu and Thundercats, I may end up homeless, but I'll be very happy. Hey, that's the important part, is your happiness. I kind of jumped too soon from ending this poll, but I put a poll out there. So Hector, Peter, Alex, any of the Mondo people are watching this after the fact, or if they're still watching right now, which I hope they aren't. But I asked, how likely are you going to collect Mondo real Ghostbusters? And there's not likely, maybe, likely, and very likely were the options. Gentlemen, where do you think this poll ended up? Over 200 votes, 227 votes.
Can I ask a question before I answer?
Sure. Yeah.
220 votes? 200, what is that what you said?
227 votes.
How many likes do we have on the video?
Great question.
If you can vote, you can like the video.
We have 198 likes, so we unlocked Craig's thumbnail.
Okay. That's pretty good. That ratio is pretty good. There.
If I had to take a guess, I'd say the majority of this chat is not likely.
You know what? I'm going to disagree.
Really?
I'm gonna say, what were the options? I don't think it's
not likely, maybe, likely, very likely,
or maybe. I think
likely,
maybe.
But I think very likely is like likely and very likely. I think are gonna get the lion's share of those votes.
Okay. So here they are. In fourth place, likely with 14%. In third place, maybe with 23%.
Okay.
In second place, good Lord, numbers. Not likely with 25%. And in number one, 36%.
Wow.
Very likely.
That's surprising to me, but that's because I'm a Ghostbusters fan and I'm cynical and I just used to. I think the best part about this is that this is going to have reach that goes well beyond. There's going to be more non-hardcore Ghostbusters fans buying these than the hardcore Ghostbusters fans.
Exactly.
These are
to me what this means.
It's a different thing.
I mean, as a non-Ghostbusters fan, I'll put myself in that category. I genuinely think that they've really sort of hit on something by doing it in a 6.5 inch scale, because I think there's room on people's shelves for this collection, if that makes sense. Like I think 6-inch collectors are gonna sort of buy into this because it's something that they don't have, right? It's not. With Turtles, you've got multiple waves, multiple lines. You got Holothon. You kind of go, okay, I got the Turtles. I'm kind of done. This is a fresh start. This is like a new IP that really hasn't been tapped into, and they're just fun. Like there's a whole lot of potential for a really, really fun line here, and like I said, the ghosts and sort of the ghouls and like all the sort of accompanying paraphernalia that's sort of going to go along with this could be a lot of fun. And I think I think that's something that kind of gets underplayed a little bit in the
Right.
sense that there's a lot of IPs that have that nostalgic factor, but they're not always as fun. And I think Real Ghostbusters is going to be a fun toy line.
And also,
what's-
there's this. Go for it,
Go
Jim.
ahead.
Sorry,
Please,
I was
no,
just saying
please.
there's a scenario where it does well, and Mondo does their first, large scale playset with a
Playset
firehouse.
vehicle. Like again, the fact they're doing the 6-inch. I mean, we talked about this yesterday, but vehicles are in play. Playsets are in play. Like your world building is in play.
Also, there's a lot of variants of the Ghostbusters they could do
Absolutely.
because they are in some. I mean, you've got them in their pajamas.
Yeah.
There's that one episode where they go to New Orleans and they're just the Beatles for a second.
Play them ragtime blues, I believe is the episode.
I mean, you could even you could do exclusive 4-packs. You could do the
Citizen Ghosts.
Citizen
That one's always
Ghosts.
done.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that you can do, and I think you're going to have a certain subset of Ghostbusters fans that are going to be all in.
I got one. How about the now comic Ghostbusters 2 comic book version of there's so much you could tap into with
There's so much you could do. Yeah, it'll be interesting. And then if it does well, you could see the license expanding to Extreme Ghostbusters and things like that. And hey, maybe down the line, movie Mondo Ghostbusters. But it all is going to come down. It's like anything else. If people buy the stuff, it'll be successful. If it struggles, then it won't be.
But yeah, to me, so just on the likelies and very likelies, 50% of the Toy Geeks audience is in. If you count the maybes, 75% is interested or in on this toy line. Only 25% is a no-go.
I'm gonna go post the same poll.
Are you gonna do
one of these Ghostbusters Facebook groups? They're gonna be like, what is a Mondo?
But to me, that is a representation. I know it's a smaller sample size here, but that is if Mondo is looking at the response to this, they got to be thinking they have a potential big hit on their hands. Big hit on their hands. People are asking for a poll around price. What should I say? Should I say what would you be in to buy these for?
Yeah, what price point? At what price point are these, a viable? And remember, it's a 2-pack. They've said that they will be sold as 2-packs. They haven't told us what will be in each 2-pack.
Right.
But I think the clever way to go, the smart play is a human figure and a ghost. But not to have because that goes back to the Kenner versions, right? Like where you always kind of got one of those mini ghosts. But what if the mini ghost is the same size? It's like an equal kind of player.
I mean, Peter's talking about all those ghosts from the intro. A lot of those are just I don't even think those are main ghosts from the show. I wonder if there's a scenario where it's you get Egon and Boogeyman, and then Proton Pack, a couple of fun Easter egg accessories, and another ghost, a smaller ghost. I think I'd be willing
to do a pack-in size ghost too.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this sounds like. I understand everybody's financial situation is different. Hell, I wish I had a lot more money than I did. Price is not that. If it was $150, but you got a bunch of amazing stuff, then I'm the wrong person to ask this because I'm getting it no matter what. There's not a price where I'm they've crossed the line. So. But that's me. I'm different.
Well, so I do not. I would be shocked if it was under $100, to be completely honest, just because
there's no way this is under $100.
Yes. No. So I didn't put it in the poll because I know if I put $75, everybody's going to pick $75. Right. So really, I want you all in the chat to what, so I did 100, 110, 125, and 150. What's the viable price point for you for these 2-packs? Because I think you got to assume these are smaller print runs than a NECA does and obviously a Hasbro and so on and so forth does. Plus, to be able to probably play with this license, it has to be at a certain price point that isn't comparable to Hasbro.
Well, it's an
Would be my
interesting. I mean, it's
guess.
an interesting equation, right? Because it falls into that it falls into that conversation that people have about HasLabs, right? If you set
Mhm.
a higher unit threshold, you can have a lower price point. So then it's becomes, how many does Mondo think they can sell? Because
Mhm.
economy of scale will sort of dictate costs. And I think,
Yeah.
a 6 scale figure, again, is a smaller market of collectors. So by
Mhm.
default, you're going to have, a smaller print run. Maybe
Yeah.
this isn't as small a print run as people think, right? Like maybe they're banking on selling more units at a lower price point to compete with the 6-inch scale, because if you look at their 6 scale figures, are relatively well priced in that market, in that space, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
When you compare them to other 6 scale figures,
Yeah.
Mondo figures are not cheap, but they
Mhm.
are less expensive
And
than
yeah.
a lot of other 6 scale figures.
Yeah.
I wonder,
They're like
again,
200 as opposed to 3 or 4.
right.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like I mentioned, I wonder if this is a little bit of like Funko being more involved and sort of saying, here's what we think you can do with this license. What if we go a little bit less expensive and sell twice as many, rather than, sell fewer at a higher price point? Because I think the Ghostbusters market will buy it at a higher price point, but I don't know that 6-inch collectors.
You're not gonna get the casuals. Yeah.
That's what I mean, and I wonder if there's a play to be made to the more casual fan.
Mhm.
Now, could I see them doing like a timed exclusive that's like $150, and it's like you said, Craig, like there's tons more stuff, and then doing a like a standard release at 110, and not having that pack in extra ghosts, not having quite as many expressions, not
Right.
having all the Easter egg stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Because they've
yeah.
done that, right? They typically do 2 releases with each 6 scale figure, but like I said, I mean, I don't know. We don't know. I mean,
Yeah. You
we're
don't know
the
what's
only
in
ones that
it.
know at
You
this
don't know
point.
what's in it yet.
We also
Yeah.
don't know, like there is a chance, like, and I think you kind of brought this up earlier, Adam, like Funko has a huge footprint
Yeah.
in retail all over. Maybe they do try to take something to retail or have a retail version of this, where you could buy this at Target. I feel like going to direct to consumer, it's still a specialty product.
Yeah.
And they're going to learn a lot for the first couple of releases, right?
Mhm.
They're going to know what they can sell.
Yeah.
But I would be
Did
making up numbers.
Mondo, like Funko is literally everywhere. Like I think you can get them at gas stations and stuff. But
I
is
don't
Mondo
think
anywhere at retail, or it's just direct, right?
I think it's direct. I don't think I mean, I'm sure there's synergy and connections to Funko, but I do think they're very
Very
they play in
segregated,
their own
separate.
lanes.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't work there. I don't work there. I don't have the answers.
Now-
No, I think Mondo is it needs to retain its reputation as a premium collector's brand that you cannot find at Walmart. I think.
It shouldn't be a shocker. The rankings on price kind of ranked in how much it was. So
Yeah.
45% said $100, 20% said $110, $125 was at 19%, and 15% was at $150. So, Mondo, I assume you're watching this after the fact or whatever. But that's your range. Almost half are in the $100 bank where they'd want to be. And then 55% is above that, with the majority of it being in 110, 125, the smallest amount, 15%, being in 150.
A lot of it is going to have to do with how many they can sell.
That and what's in it. We don't know what's in it yet.
Right.
If it's like jam-packed, then maybe 150 is fine. But if it's just 2 figures and not much else, then it's got to be closer to 100. I think that's just depends how they pack them.
I mean, call me cynical, but in these trying times, especially in Canada. I mean, I go to the store and buy like nothing. It's like $200. Well, like at the grocery
Yeah,
store. I'm like,
that's
I
true.
literally, they're like, all right, it's $197. And I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry, Jay. What did I buy though? Like, what is? There's nothing here. This isn't even.
What if I put the orange juice back?
Yeah, that's how Abby, dude. That's Abby's number one thing. It's been happening our entire life. We go to the grocery store. It's more than we thought. She takes off like a grape, but she's like, that's not gonna. It's not
Can
gonna
you
change
reweigh the broccoli?
Yeah,
Can I
it's
take
not
one
gonna
of the
change
broccoli
anything.
crowns out and we'll...
So if I already have to, barely be able to survive with my good paying job, might as well get some toys while we're at it.
Amen. I will say you gotta change your strategies maybe, because we do Costco, Wegmans, which is an East Coast Northeast thing, and we go to Target. Sometimes we'll go to Trader Joe's. Like we mix it up. We're like, what's cheaper where, and then we'll kind of hedge our bets.
You know what though, Jay?
Strategic.
You and I have, I think, probably similar grocery buying patterns.
Probably.
I don't know that Abby, Abby doesn't look like she eats a Costco amount of food.
That's fair.
Dude, we have donuts, we have ice creams.
So maybe you just need to like,
pizzas.
I don't know.
No, I just mean two people. Like for two people,
two
Costco
people is
like
tougher to
not
shop for than four
yeah.
people.
Oh, I've never even been in a Costco. I thought you have to have
Costco's
a special card to get in.
You have to. You
do have to have a special card to get.
But then you get your salsa by the gallon. Not like it's not. You don't get a.
I just am like, where's the cheapest Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries? Send me there. I eat like a child. I live like a child. I'm so friggin' mad this week. We bought, we get the pack where you get Gushers, Fruit Roll-Ups, and Fruit by the Foot.
Of course, the 3-pack. I know it well.
And clearly, like, Gushers are the best thing in there.
Absolutely, Gushers are the best thing.
And of course, I go to grab, and it's just Fruit Roll. Who wants a Fruit Roll-Up? That is
clearly
such
a. Well, my kids do, but they're.
It gets stuck in your teeth. Out of
like,
all of them, that gets stuck in your teeth. Really.
First of all, the wax, and it's just like a whole
sticky
thing.
hands. It's like
Fruit Roll-Up.
There's no effective way to eat them.
I want Gushers.
Well, again, that's where you go to Costco, and it's just a big freaking box of just Gushers.
I got we're way off topic, but I got this text from like Target like in the last month, and it was like, reviewing past purchases, you may have been exposed to salmonella through chocolate chip granola bars. Have you bought those in the past 6 months? I'm like, we buy those like every week. Like, when did this happen? I'm not dead, so
probably come and gone.
We're just tapping into dad life right now. Kidding, Gushers all day.
I don't have
a coupon day.
I have no children, but we have plenty of Gushers in this house.
All right, one last thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of related, kind of, but not really. But it was the other big toy news this week. Hasbro subbing out their license. Craig, I know you covered it on your show this past week, but a lot of people did.
It was funny. I was like, this is a huge topic. We started talking about it. We were all like,
meh.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares, right? But
no, it's big news though.
It's just shocking to me. And it just, this is another, if anyone expects more than like the bare minimum from Hasbro right now, this is your example of like, no, they're not doing much beyond their core stuff, because they bought Power Rangers. Yep. They are a toy company. Yep. They own Power Rangers, and they're subbing it out to Playmates toys.
Yeah.
Because Playmates has such a great reputation for making amazing toys.
Outside of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, everything else.
Hey, Jay, I did send you the thumbnail. Dan Larson's.
Oh, you did? Oh, sorry. Dan.
You the thumbnail.
We'll do it right after this.
I think Playmates could do a good job. I mean, I don't. Maybe. I don't care.
I mean, I do think it's right there in the news brief, right? That Playmates will do a kid targeted Mighty Morphin Power Rangers line. Right. So, like, I think this makes me think of like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that we got. What, late 80s, like maybe first couple years of the 90s, something like that. those, they were about 10 inches tall.
Yeah,
And they
the
were
Bandai
kind of,
ones, the 8
Yeah,
inch.
like 94,
yeah,
93,
that's what I mean.
94,
Like, I could see them doing something like that. Maybe there's sort of a re-release. Yeah, those ones. Those are awesome with articulated fingers and all.
Yeah, these are my absolute favorite.
So I
love
could
these
see
so much.
Playmates doing something like that and being successful. And if they kind of promote the show, maybe there's a remastered version of the show. Maybe they're going to relaunch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to go along with it. I feel like the other shoe hasn't dropped on this this news yet. That there's got to be some, because why would they be doing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Yeah, I think there's a new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie in some sort of development that is going to be like a reboot, retooling.
Yeah,
I don't understand Power Rangers. I'm always surprised that I mean, I understand it. And I actually kind of, when Lightning Collection started, I was like, you know what? I'm going to reclaim my Power Rangers love, because I
was
liked it
talking
as a
about
kid.
Power Rangers this morning. Yeah,
I liked it, but I was like a little too old to be into it. So I
Uh-huh.
kind of lived vicariously through my younger brother. But listen, when it was revealed, spoiler alert, that Tommy was the White Ranger, which if you rewatch that saga, it's so obvious. But like at the
Yes.
time, I was like,
It's
whoa,
It was a big
they
deal.
didn't. I can't believe this.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I remember it was a school ground conversation. Schoolyard, I should say. But
I don't know.
Craig, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think I would just pay attention to what Hasbro is doing in general, because they are the biggest toy company in the world, or one of them. So my biggest exciting Hasbro thing is that next Saturday we are going to get the first Star Wars HasLab announcement in the new Steve Evans era, and I have a feeling it's going to be cool.
It's a big deal. Do you think it's finally the Ryan Dole promised
Ewok Village?
No, it's never going to be an Ewok Village. But I do think it's going to be a playset, and I think it's going to be original trilogy, and I think everyone's going to like it, except for half the internet, which will complain about it. So.
Do you think they could go Black Series this time?
Don't.
No,
they've already announced it's I think they've already said it's vintage
okay.
collection.
Okay.
I think there's potential for a Black Series HasLab in the future, but I don't know. I know we rag on Black Series and stuff, but like, it doesn't seem like, I mean, it's all peg warming these days.
But they still keep putting out more Black Series stuff. You know what I mean? Like as far as peg warming brands go, Star Wars,
it's bad.
You always see Star Wars stuff at the store, right? Like between Black Series, Vintage Collection, 4-inch toy kid lines, what's the Young Jedi toy line? Like there's just a ton of that stuff out there, and I wonder if it's it's kind of by design, right? Like that Lucas is maybe, and Disney are sort of just saying, like, make sure that there's always Star Wars product in the store, whether people are necessarily buying it.
Sure, but if I go to, again, it's just my local Targets and Walmarts. Legends sells out, Classified sells out.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
I think Star Wars is in a really bad place, just in general. I'm usually not the person. Like, I thought that Acolyte trailer looked like borderline bad. That's just me. I've enjoyed a lot of what they've done. I'm not like an anti-Disney. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those anti-Disney Star Wars.
Wait. What's your thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy? This is your test right now.
I mean, she's one of the most prolific movie producers ever.
All right, he passed, everybody. He passed.
I think
we're okay.
The problem is that post Force Awakens, they had to make decisions, and they have wavered on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they get something that collectively everybody seems to enjoy, like season 2 of The Mandalorian, it somehow just doesn't. I don't know. It's just stressful. I don't know.
We have Acolyte figures, but Carson Teva is in every Star Wars property right now, and they will not do a Carson Teva figure.
It's weird. It seems
give us Carson Teva.
Yeah.
I think
or other
Mecha
things
Man
like that,
Blade
right?
hits...
Like there seems to be a weird disconnect between like what is sort of toyetic and sellable and what they make toys of and try to sell. Like it seems really weird that, you know, we get re-releases of things that we've had 4 times, and yet there's a new character that people are like, oh, that's a cool new character.
Yeah.
Nothing.
To
Yeah.
me, where and Blake, you said yes. There's an interview with Steve Evans and Craig.
Ooh, I wanna read
you
that.
all had him as well, right?
We did have Steve Evans on. I don't know if he'll ever revisit. We did Hasbro sad comments. It was a whole thing. And plus, Attack Peter was on. It's just like a whole thing. I don't know. I like Steve Evans a lot. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to come on Toy Anxiety. I don't even want to be on there.
But I think Mecha Manblade hits it on the head here. Star Wars went down the moment they stopped putting vehicles on toy shelves. And to me, Star Wars from day one is about the vehicles and play sets and world building. And the second you don't do that, it doesn't.
Do you know how hard, when I first started collecting Black Series, which I was a couple years late, I started collecting Black Series at that time when like all the Force Awakens stuff was coming on, and it was really hard to find those first 2 waves, like the blue and orange waves of Black Series. And I had remembered there was this one CVS like 40 miles north of my house. I was like, oh, they had a Yoda there like a year ago. What if it's still there? And I drove so far, and guess what? It was there, and I bought.
Damn. Okay, it worked out.
Bought that Yoda, and that was a good memory.
That's a great memory. That's awesome.
Yes.
Exactly. Play sets, not hallways. Amen, Jace. Amen.
Wow.
Okay.
I bought 3 of those Navarro cantinas because that, I mean, it works for non-Star Wars stuff too, right?
Yeah, it's
fair.
cool.
All right. Let's make sure Dan Larson can get to bed. We hit the like goal. We're gonna share this thumbnail in which you use Jace's crying.
I did. Without permission.
Movie.
I hope I could use it.
But it's great. It's great. Hold on,
did you have a laugh when you saw it?
I did.
Yeah.
I hope you all on the internet get to as well.
So do I need to set this up at all? Well, there it is. Yes. There it is. We filmed this scene for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and we got cut. You're going to get a whole video about it soon.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this video. I will say, I remember, did you text me that day or maybe whatever? It's like, holy shit, we're going, you know, we're going to film this scene. And I was just like, fuck yes, this is incredible. I'm so excited for you. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe the next time we chat, we're like, yeah, they fucking cut it.
Did your mom go see the movie thinking like, oh, my son's going to be in a movie. It's going to be great.
She thought we were in the last one for some reason. No, we had a really amazing last minute opportunity when they did the reshoots in Atlanta to film a quick little thing, and it was amazing. It's an experience I'll never forget, and it was fun, and there's a whole story, and I can't wait to share that story, but this will likely be our final thumbnail for it. So
will it make it into the deleted scenes of a
I don't think so. I do not think so. There's other stuff in that movie that will likely be more entertaining than the 3 of us. I will say this was if you guys saw the movie, it's a reaction shot to the sewer dragon at the beginning of the movie.
Okay. I was gonna wonder if there's like you you're not really, you have icicles on your face or
no, this is like us walking down the streets of New York going, oh. So, it was fun. It was really cool, and we as a diehard longtime Ghostbusters fan, to get the opportunity to say I filmed it was in it, and
it counts.
It counts. It's in my head canon. But it was cool. It was amazing. So that'll be in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess, yeah. When can people find this, or when will this episode drop?
Well, it'll be like a 5 or 6 minute video, and I just have to figure out how we want to do it. I also have to figure out if we can actually get access to the actual footage. We have video of us being filmed, but I don't know if we'll be.
Yeah, who took this shot? This is a great shot of you being filmed, and like this is great.
Yeah, there's some really good. There's we had some people. We got some people looking out for us, knowing We have people on the inside who probably knew this was getting cut. We're like, let me go ahead and document this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But that
Hopefully,
the sad Ghostbusters logo is so good. So thank you.
I feel like Jace's sad mood, like that's gonna, maybe he should like put that out there because I think it'll start to be used a whole
There's
lot.
nobody sadder than Ghostbusters fans all the time.
Hey, it's almost to 200 million worldwide. It's just inching along.
Don't get me started on arguing with people about box office on Twitter, because everybody is an expert on movie budgets and marketing and.
Well, in this post-COVID economy, no, just
listen. I don't care what anybody says. I love Ghostbusters, and I hope we get a million more. And everyone's just a little too cynical for me out there. So,
this actually, people don't realize this is actually shot from when Craig first met Steve Harvey. But in actuality, we've both met Steve Harvey when he came out to film the episode that we were in.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
You're fine. All right. I'm gonna remove Craig, so just Adam and I. Adam.
Yes, sir.
It's about time we wrap this thing up. But what's going on? I mean, AWOC closed. We didn't get the Elefantes.
No, we didn't quite get to Mamba. But if you back the Kickstarter, there's still a shot because we're going to count the money in the backer kit towards the overall funding goal. So we may still unlock the elephant in the backer kit, which means that the Kickstarter backers will get first sort of go at getting the elephant. I finished the backer kit and submitted it yesterday to backer kit for approval. We'll see how long it takes them to sort of get back to me and sort of get any sort of issues. The goal is to launch it on Wednesday. That was always super ambitious because you don't actually get your Kickstarter money for 2 weeks. So the Kickstarter check still hasn't cleared. So we're still sort of waiting on that.
You got any of that Kickstarter money back there?
Exactly. It's sort of like, so how much do we make? We don't actually know until they send us the check because they take their cut or whatever.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
The backer kit's looking good. There's some cool surprises. I will say this: if you back the Kickstarter, you're gonna get some free stuff. Depending on sort of how much you backed is going to determine sort of how much free stuff. Excited for the backer kit to launch. Excited to just, I'm just excited because there's more Animal Warriors of the Kingdom stuff. We're getting more. There's excitement behind it. Craig's not excited. That's fine.
No, I am. I mean,
it's too modern. It has too much articulation.
I
appreciate it.
I think what all of these, to me, I'm excited for all the independent companies putting out really great stuff. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I really do. It's just
I believe it.
I believe you too, Craig. And I mean, this is the thing that I think is sort of hard. It's hard for fans of things to understand that other people aren't as excited as they are about certain things. And so but that's a real thing, right? There's 8 billion people. I don't think we're going to have 8 billion Animal Warriors of the Kingdom fans. That's just not.
Don't sell yourself short, okay?
7 billion, maybe. We're sort of working towards that, but it's an unrealistic expectation sometimes that and we live with these blinders on where we kind of you guys talk about Ghostbusters a lot. So Ghostbusters fans are going to gravitate to you.
Exactly.
It's sort of then you kind of go, well, everybody loves Ghostbusters. Yeah. It's but
I feel like any true Ghostbuster fan like Craig and I know that there's not a lot of Ghostbuster fans. There's a lot.
It's just a weird, you would think hey, who are all these people going to see this Godzilla King Kong movie? What world are we living in? I get that it's fun. Ghostbusters is fun.
Yeah.
And Animal Wars: The Kingdom is.
And they got Paul Rudd. I mean, who doesn't love Paul Rudd?
He's great. Even though he didn't come and talk to you guys on the red carpet. I'm gonna hold that against him.
What was that about?
So not everybody loves Paul Rudd?
And Craig put Vaseline on his lens. No, this is what happens.
My phone died.
The phone dies, and then you lose that sweet. Here, I'll show you right now. I'm going to switch my camera, and you can see how shitty a 4K Logitech Brio is. When I switch to that camera, look at that. It looks like shit. What is this? I'm cursing too much for a main feed show.
Yeah,
But look at that. It's
I'm
terrible.
still too lazy to hook my phone up as the main camera.
Terrible.
Although Jay explained to me how to do
like,
it.
It's kind of confusing, and like 1 out of 9 times it doesn't work for some reason,
Yeah.
but it's pretty great.
I gotta
It's the
switch to it.
best.
I gotta switch to it.
Yeah, what's with all the
I bought
swears?
this damn camera. Now I gotta use it for a while at least.
He did say nice coat, Goldberg. That was funny. That's
He
all he
did.
did. He's pointing at you, said nice coat, Goldberg.
I know, and everybody people who don't like my family thinks that's because he knew me, but it's because like no, I had a Ghostbusters name patch on. But it was great. That was like the most Jay. I'm finally able to watch some of that without like cringing. It was so great, and you were literally the best. for
Oh,
helping us do
please,
that.
please. All I do is just make sure I didn't I don't know, drop the camera or something.
That was a fun.
Oh, it was
crazy,
amazing.
Crazy.
It was
night.
incredible. And to be front seat to you all, just like crushing and just having like the
I had
best
to
time was the
upstage
best.
like the time Jay was like, "Hey, you want to be on a TV show with me?" I was like, "Oh, I gotta get a good." I was like, "Hey, Jay, want to go do a red carpet thing?" Like we're gonna keep like seeing who can out cool.
I don't know
invite
if I
the
can
other
ever top like, hey, come watch the Ghostbusters film with the people in Ghostbusters. You know, your favorite movie
Your
film
favorite thing.
franchise of all time.
Logan
Don't know if
Kim
I can
and
top that.
Logan Kim and his family were right behind us.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the movie ends like, hey, Logan, you did a great job.
I bet he talked through the whole movie.
He did.
didn't.
Well, I got a lot of mileage out of that. We're in the front row like this, and I was like, "Oh, I was hoping to get a closer seat." I said that to like 6 people. Nobody laughed. And apparently, I also accidentally ate Abby's popcorn, which she is still talking about. So
Oh man, the free popcorn was awesome.
it's great.
Um,
It's just life of a toy tuber. Red carpet,
yeah, so nice.
champagne.
All right. I am gonna be doing After Dark. Craig, I think you're out. Adam, you're more than welcome to join, but you don't have to join. But I'm gonna talk about just the Slacker dropped at Target this weekend. And there was this post I saw in one of the turtle groups of this classic, like showing a trunk full, like basically buying all of the figures. And then
Was it Hatter's truck?
It wasn't Hatter's truck. No Flipper Frank here. Maybe it was.
Why would anyone? Do you know how many Moss men are sitting at my Walmart?
I know.
Right now? Like who like this guy thinks it's 2020. He's gonna drive.
Yeah,
up.
I was gonna say.
Post.
Do people still think that's viable? Like
The post was like, "Hey, I found him! Yay!" And don't worry, I bought them all for anybody that wants them. I'll sell them to you at retail price.
Oh,
and then of course the comments are like blowing him up for it, and I'm just like,
who has
why?
the patience to even want to do that?
Why? Yes,
To go to the post office, like, listen.
I will say this: I have done that. So as a GI Joe collector in Canada, that was because
It's a little different.
Target exclusives
Sure.
were kind of random, and they kind of popped up at Toys R Us. We still have Toys R Us, so that's a bit of a flex, but it sucks. But they would show up, at some, but not all of them. Like it wasn't. And so, when one of the Target exclusives would pop up, I'd kind of grab all but one. I'd leave one on the shelf, right? And then I'd kind of reach out to people that I knew in the community that were sort of close by, and I'd be like, "Hey, I was at Toys R Us. I found this. Like, if you want one, I got it." And then if they didn't want it, I'd sort of extend the offer. But it's a pain in the butt. Like
Yes.
it's especially if you're doing it for retail, because like.
Right.
You got to find a box, you got to pack it, and then it gets to somebody's house, and they go, "Oh, there's a bit of a nick in the box. Can I send it back to you?"
Right.
Like, no, like
No,
don't.
you can't. I'm not
No,
JC
this is not how this works.
It's I actually, there's nothing wrong with helping people out. Like I have such when I think about
I'm not nice enough to do that anymore.
pandemic, times. Like
Mhm.
I'm literally like so caught up in the hype and the boredom of the pandemic that I'm like, yeah, I hit 15 targets today looking for that Baroness. Why? I have nothing better to do with I don't even know what that
It's
is.
true. It's true.
But I found one.
But just something of note, that slacker is massive. Cheshire Monkey posted
wow,
this
what
in
what a great looking action figure.
But that's the Super 7 Slash.
Yeah.
And
he's big.
It's bigger than the Slash. And again, that Super 7 Slash figure is a big figure.
That's Super 7 Slash next to Wave 4 of Super 7 Simpsons figures.
Yeah, Jeff, yeah, exactly. That's your pick. Exactly. You posted it today in our Discord.
Hey, Jay, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Don't consider me a bad friend because I don't know the answer to this.
It's okay.
Did you assemble and put together your Eternia yet?
I did.
Is there a video of it?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Is it amazing?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's, I mean, here, I'll just turn my camera around. I built a whole new shelf for it.
Oh, it's in here. Okay. This is what we're talking about.
So I didn't get an Eternia, but somebody that I know
There
in
you go.
town got one, and he said I can go and unbox it with him.
That looks great.
All right. Like, so I built this huge floating shelf.
Okay.
And yeah, so I've got space for Grayskull, Snake Mountain.
Wow.
And
when you see it next to Grayskull and Snake Mountain, it's like like those are pretty big, right? But that is huge.
Actually, I think I can go wireless. So I'll go wireless. And then,
All right,
but I won't
guys.
be able to hear you.
I'll do commentary.
Yeah, you can do commentary.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay has decided to go wireless. He hasn't tried this since the summer of 2022. That's crazy.
It's really big.
That's
But it's more or
bad.
less the same size as the vintage Eternia, correct?
I think it's like scale wise about the same. I think some of the pieces,
Some of the proportions
individually
were
might
like
be a little
changed,
more.
like the doorways and things were changed, right? To account for Masterverse, I think they said that they'll.
Yeah, I think you can put some Masterverse on. Jay,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
Mattel gonna do? How's Mattel gonna? Oh wait, no, the Eternia was 2 years ago. Last year they didn't really have much of a showing.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Huh. I wonder what this year is gonna be all about.
But right, it looks pretty good. The figures all the boys, my boys Alex and Zach, they've just been playing with it. So figures all over the place. So.
I don't have kids, but I can tell you one thing: they would not be in my toy room. They would be downstairs studying in the lake.
They were so excited because if any of the toys in here are not brittle, I'm like, sure, play it. Play with it, whatever. It's a toy.
Do your thing.
But like the USS Flag and the Eternia, it's just so old and bro, like I can't, guys.
Yeah.
Can't really. It's
Yeah,
too
hey, listen, if I had a
fragile.
kid and he was trying to play with my flag, I was like, listen, you want to have fun on this aircraft carrier? Join the military. Join the Navy.
So you're right. And so, but this was like, they were so excited because like, this is a new one. This is a new Eternia. I want to do the tram. I want to do all of these features. So now that it's out, that like any chance they get, they're over there playing with the.
Jay, I know you're trying to end the show, but I want to ask you, Adam, how old are your children?
8, 4, and just about to be 2 next week.
Okay, cool. This is not what I was going to say, but I think I need to bring this up. They're doing a Sesame Street musical at the Atlanta Puppetry Arts Museum.
Oh,
and I literally asked my brother if I could take my 2 nephews because I was just going to go by myself. And I was like, I can't.
You don't want to be that guy?
I'm not going to go to the Sesame Street musical at like 2:00 on a Wednesday, but I've got to bring some kids with me. Preferably kids I know and I'm related to.
It certainly takes the creep level down.
Right. Yeah. I'm here for them. I don't even like this shit. Meanwhile, I'm crying. Bravo! Oscar!
I remember that.
Okay, but that's not what I was going to ask. I was talking to this guy recently and he was complaining that his kid is like 5 and has no imagination. And do you think kids know how to play with toys the way we did?
Yes.
No, they do.
100%.
Maybe it's just maybe it's just.
Because
But like, you used
Go
to have
ahead.
the commercials that would like show you the kids having the fun, and that
Mhm.
would make you want to have the fun. Do kids
Yeah.
have that drive on
Yeah.
their own?
100%.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
there's different kids. Every kid is different, right? But I have a toy room. I still actively buy toys for my kids, right? I'm like,
Right.
you should want to play with this, so I buy it
Mhm.
and bring it home, and they play with it. And yesterday, they had my HasLab His Tank and my classified Vamp, and then a bunch of figures, and they were just the three of them were just having a blast. Just coming up with adventures and things in the hallway, and I said to my wife, "See, I told you it was for the kids." Um, and they play with the Motu Origins. They love the
Mhm.
Origins. They love the Origins.
They love
have
the origins,
they
the stories they can tell.
it's kids are different, and I think it's sort of how you encourage it, and sort of how you, and I'm not saying anybody's a good or bad parent. Every parent is just
There's
different.
definitely some
You
bad
do the best
parents
you
out
can.
there.
But I think that if you sort of give them the tools,
Yeah.
the toys,
Yeah.
and
See,
sort
look
of
at it.
let
iPhone,
them go for
webcam
it.
to iPhone, Craig. You look like $1 million.
There
Ooh,
are
who's
bad
this
parents out
handsome
there.
guy?
Like sometimes parents are so excited about new Ghostbusters toys, they just leave their kids in the lake. They don't even, and then they come and
Hold
do the
on.
thing.
Their
Yes.
mother was there
Let's-
with them, Craig.
Right.
Okay.
I know. It's just the last time they left a kid in the lake, he got really mad at all the counselors, and it was a whole thing.
But
Yeah, I often wonder, like, we've seen people in the chat and stuff say before, like, that the action figure will die off with our generation. And I really think that the most important thing that brands like Star Wars and Motu and everything can do is to appeal to the collectors of tomorrow. And I don't think, like, remember the He-Man, remember the He-Man.
Remember the
remember
He-Man?
He-Man?
You know the He-Man show that came out around the same time in Revelations
Yes, the kid one.
came out.
Yes.
The CGI one, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's did kids care? Like, did kids care at all about that? Like,
My kids dug the first season. They got
Okay.
bored with the second season, which the second
My
season
kids are
wasn't very good.
rewatching. So I have an 8-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old son. My kids are rewatching the Netflix She-Ra.
Nice. That's a great
Because
show.
Well,
they
that's a cool show. Yeah.
It is a cool show.
That is a cool show. Yeah, I just wonder. There's something I do think about. I don't have kids, and I do have nephews, 4 and 1.5. And they like toys, but they're more into, like, my nephew's 4. He's not much. He's not like an action figure kid. He's like a Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
And then, like, running around in the sprinkler and banging his head against the wall. He's one of those kids.
Frankly,
does he
that's
have one of
what-
those? Does
Go
he
ahead.
have one of those, like, little Tykes, like, excavators where he can throw sand on his face? Is he that kid?
I don't think he's not eating the sand or anything.
Not yet.
But I gave him the real Ghostbusters, the retro re-releases, and, like, he seemed to have fun with them. And he likes Ghostbusters. He likes the song, likes the logo. He was very concerned about where Slimer sleeps. Kids come up with funny stuff. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you're
Slimer."
right.
He's like, "Where does he sleep?" I'm like, "The firehouse. You don't have one. I'm not going to give you my firehouse. Sorry."
I do think it just depends on the toy, and I think it depends on how it works for them. Like I said, they're the boys are playing with this Eternia, all these Origins and Grayskull and Snake Mountain.
See our Bluey collection.
Right, and Bluey, like they love the Bluey stuff, and Gujitsu, they love those.
They love the Bluey.
They love the
They
Bluey.
love them. That's what they love them.
Is that your Trump?
That's a really like bad Donald Trump impression. They love Bluey. They like them. They say more Bluey. That's like the worst. I don't even have it in me to like. It's so. Please. Oh,
but,
sorry. I didn't mean to get political. Come on, Jay. Come on.
But yeah, I think it just depends on like
political toy podcast.
Political toy podcast. Yeah, please let's not. But the like for my oldest Zach, he loves Lego, and he plays with Lego just like I played with Lego as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And Alex, he does love Hot Wheels. I wasn't a big Hot Wheels kid, but he loves Hot Wheels. And so,
I liked
like,
Matchbox. I was such a contrarian. I really did. I was like,
I
Matchbox,
prefer
way
the
better. than Hot Wheels.
detail of
On the
Matchbox
start,
than the
Craig?
absurdist
It's like,
approach.
Hot Wheels? Okay.
I
But-
love dude. These Hot Wheels collectors at Target they're so fun to watch.
But again, it's just like I also think it's just my kids love to play Roblox or Minecraft, but they're very limited on their screen time on iPads anyway, and because they can really zone out with that stuff. But like if we go to a restaurant or we go to a thing where they might be bored, it's like, okay, bring a toy, bring your favorite Hot Wheel car, bring a Lego or something, because you're gonna have to be able to entertain yourself.
Yeah,
and they play
right.
with those toys the same way we would if we had to go with our parents to do taxes or whatever, and we just play with a thing just to entertain ourselves for however long. It's the same thing. And just like even today, we went out to eat, and so Alex had his little Porsche Hot Wheel car that he was drifting on the table, and Zach had a little Lego thing that he was playing with. It's the same.
I mean, one of my core
Doesn't
memories
change.
is being in the backseat of my mom's car with Egon and Bad to the Bone Ghost, putting Egon
Yeah.
in the rib cage and going,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't get better than this.
Exactly,
Life is peak.
100%.
I hope 40 years from now, somebody will re-release these and I can do the same thing again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally the crux of the modern collector. I hope they make the thing from the past. Please.
Mom, can you drive me somewhere? I need to relive something.
Well, I was saying, my mom always reminds me, there's this picture of my mom like holding my Kenner Proton Pack like at a party, looking annoyed because like I probably begged to bring it, and she was like, "You're not going to wear this the whole time." But she reminded me of this story of it's weird. I don't think any of my friends, I think I'm a pretty generous person. I don't think I'm selfish. I always defer to what the group wants over what I want, like always.
Sure.
But as a kid, I was a little bratty at times, and I do remember like my mom stood out like waiting for the shipment at Toys R Us at like 4 a.m. of Stay Puffs in like a Chicago winter.
Wow.
And I do also
Good mom.
remember calling my mom. I knew she had got me Super Fright Features, Winston, and 2 other ones. I knew they were in the house, and she was at work, and they were like, they were either going to be for Christmas or birthday, whatever. And I called her at work, screaming, crying. I was like, I need them now. And she was like, Craig, fine, guest room, closet, top shelf. Yeah. And I was like, thank you.
Were they meant to be a gift?
For me, yeah, they were a future gift for me, but I needed them that day.
Oh my god.
Explains
Well,
a
on
lot.
that note,
Explains a lot.
I think we need to close this thing out.
Hey, this was fun. Sorry I tried all these extra topics at the end, but
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's great. That's what the beauty of this stream is. Adam, people can find you on Highly Articulated, fantastic YouTube channel. You stream on Sundays as well. I think you kind of kick off the toy streaming coverage on Sundays.
Yeah, I do. It's a very crowded market on Sundays, but I do 2:00 Pacific, 5:00 Eastern. So.
Adam, we're gonna have. I know it didn't work out last time, but we'll have you on Toy Anxiety soon.
Yeah,
Sure.
Adam's good people. Good people.
Great.
Craig, what's do you know the topic yet this week for Toy Anxiety?
Well, I think Ryan's out of town still.
Okay.
I can't imagine it'll be anything other than, still talking about these real Ghostbusters toys. I don't foresee any other major news happening between now and maybe we'll have Peter on proper.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And see maybe we'll have Alex. We'll have the whole team on. We'll just
bring the whole.
We'll grill them.
Peter keeps saying he has to get in touch with the factory and get all this stuff in. Get the factory in there too.
Yeah, bring the factory in.
Oh, you know what?
Gang.
Let's have Blake on from Toy
Yeah, there
Collector
you
Magazine.
go. Bring Blake on.
What's his email?
I'll send it to you.
Okay, let's not give it away publicly.
Here, let me say it right now.
Put it in the chat.
Blake.toycollector at
Yeah, that'll be fun. I want to know what's going on. Let's have the thumbnail be like the next 5 years of the toy industry. It'll be great.
Is Gotham City Night happening this week? Because Alex is on there usually.
I love how Ryan got the head sculptor at Mondo to be his co-host. Like, what a you want to talk about shill?
Such a Ryan move, classic Ryan.
No, they're great. The knowledge
They're
that they
very
have
good.
about these funny books.
They're very, very good. But anyway, for anyone wants to be a patron, patreon.com/geekdeadlife. Going to talk over there, share some toy hauls. But everybody, take care. Hasta luego. And goodbye. See
Bye, everybody.